Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys anime episode review. This time I am talking about episode 1 of Aim to be a Pokemon Master. So, let's get to it. In this episode, Ash and Pikachu, after parting ways with Go, continue their aimless journey. Since they have no clear destination, they let chance decide what direction they will take. As they wander about without a care in the world, they prank each other like the good friends they are, they see some beautiful scenery, they see a bunch of different Pokemon, including some that they befriend, and some that lead to hilarious ordeals with equally funny resolutions. Eventually, as they rest under a tree while admiring the Pokemon around them, Pikachu is taken by Team Rocket, who use one of their amazing Pikachu capturing contraptions, with this one being not only electricity proof, but also sturdy enough to take an Iron Tail. With their target securely in hand, Team Rocket runs away, while celebrating their success. However, their victory is short-lived, since Ash sends out not Lucario or Dragonite or any other member of the Journeys team, but Noivern instead. While Noivern's Boom Burst is bounced back by Wobbuffet, Ash's Donphan, who is sent out next, has no problem tanking the Boom Burst. Ash then sends out Sceptile next, who uses Leaf Blade to free Pikachu, who proceeds to use Thunderbolt to take care of Team Rocket, who blasts off again while lamenting the fact that they focused so much on capturing Pikachu that they had nothing prepared to deal with Ash's other Pokemon. As Team Rocket is blasting off, a cloaked Pokemon crashes into them. Said Pokemon ends up landing in a nearby lake, and the loud noise caused by this violent touchdown is heard by Ash, who rushes to the scene where he finds a wing belonging to the crashed Pokemon sticking out of the lake. Recognizing that a Pokemon is in peril and realizing the identity of said Pokemon, Ash swims to the rescue. The Pokemon, unsurprisingly, turns out to be Latias, who is noticeably quite hurt. Upon seeing Ash, Latias panics, and she splashes around as a result. However, she soon stops due to her injuries, which allows Ash to carry her to shore, with the help of his Buizel. After getting Latias to safety, Ash decides to patch her up using some bandages and a potion. Come nighttime, Ash and his Pokemon gather around a campfire to care for and protect Latias, who is currently asleep. Team Rocket witness this and, realizing that Latias is a legendary Pokemon, they decide to steal her. After swapping out Latias' bandages and wishing for her swift recovery, Ash goes to sleep alongside most of his Pokemon, with Sceptile and Noivern admirably choosing to stay awake in order to protect everyone else. Come morning, Latias wakes up, and she is immediately startled when she realizes that she is surrounded by a human and several unfamiliar Pokemon. She is so distrustful that she even tears off her bandages, despite Ash telling her not to do this. Ash and Pikachu try to reason with Latias, but before they can come to any sort of understanding, Latias is taken by a giant vacuum. Ash, who tries to protect Latias, is taken as well in the same sweep. Unsurprisingly, this giant vacuum belongs to Team Rocket, who are delighted because their plan to capture Latias succeeded. However, their happiness soon turns into disappointment when they realize that they got a 2-for-1 special. But their disappointment soon turns back into joy when they realize that Ash has value as a hostage, since his Pokemon cannot attack them, lest they hurt Ash accidentally in the process. While Team Rocket tries to subdue Ash and Latias with some freezing gas in order to take advantage of Latias' weakness to ice, Ash remains resolute in his desire to protect Latias, to the point that he embraces Latias to keep her warm. Ash's kindness finally gets through to Latias here, who clearly realizes that Ash really does mean well. After enduring the sheer cold, Ash gets the idea to have Pikachu use Thunderbolt directly on him, thus freeing them while sparing Latias from harm. This reckless strategy greatly shocks Latias and, hilariously, Team Rocket as well. As they freefall, Ash tries to save Latias by getting her to hold his hands. Meanwhile, Noivern springs into action in order to save them both. While Latias does hold on to Ash, thus showing that she now trusts him, it's not so that Ash can save her. Instead, she saves both of them by taking flight despite her injury. This surprises Pikachu, Noivern, who did not get to save the day, and especially Team Rocket, who is comically left catatonic. While Noivern no longer needs to save Ash and Latias, its efforts were not in vain, since it is in prime position to use Boom Burst to get rid of Team Rocket, who blasts off again for the second time in this episode. So, after dropping off Ash safely, Latias nods, showing that she now approves of Ash. She then cloaks herself and she flies away. Ash thanks Latias for saving him, and he wonders if he will get to see her again. The episode ends with Ash and Pikachu continuing their aimless journey filled with pretty sights and a variety of Pokemon. Though now, they are not alone, since it is revealed that Latias is following them. Clearly, Ash earned not only her trust, but also her interest. So, that's the short but detailed summary of the episode. Now it's time to highlight, analyze, and comment on my favorite moments and/or moments that are noteworthy/interesting. So, first, I was honestly very surprised when Ash sent out Noivern, Donphan, and Sceptile, since I really did not expect that Ash would be traveling with several of his old Pokemon. Instead, I thought that he would still have his Journeys team with him. It goes without saying that I was incredibly happy when I saw these three in action again, and my joy only grew further when I saw Buizel as well. Since this is meant to be Ash's last series as protagonist, it is quite fitting and simply awesome that some of his old Pokemon get some time in the spotlight, since they may never get such a chance again. Besides, this series is meant to be both a culmination and a celebration of Ash's journey. What better way to enhance this than by having him bring back and use several of his old Pokemon? Now, I did wonder if he would keep these specific 4 in his party going forward, if this would be his team for the rest of the series. However, the preview for the next episode shows that he will seemingly change his team in every episode. So it's likely that all, if not most of his old Pokemon will get some much needed and deserved time to shine. which is simply awesome. Hopefully, some of them will finally get the chance to evolve. I do have to say though, that it is disappointing that Ash only got to use 5 Pokemon in this episode, meaning that there is one that did not get to show up, even though it's very likely in the party. This is one other old Pokemon that could have returned in this episode. Next, I want to talk about the Latias part of the episode, which is what I was looking forward to the most in this episode. Judging by the way Latias reacted to Ash, it's clear that this is not the same Latias from the Pokemon Heroes movie, which is what I was hoping for. This is very disappointing, since the Latias from the movie bonded deeply with Ash. So this was a chance to rekindle said bond while also bringing back a memorable character from the past, which would have been both fitting and significant, since again, this series is meant to be both a culmination and a celebration of Ash's journey. Plus, we would have been more invested if this was the same Latias from the movie. And assuming that Ash is to catch Latias, catching the one from the movie would be more meaningful, and a great way to have things come back full circle, which again would be very much in alignment with the purpose of this series. But with all this being said, I am still glad that Ash got to bond with and earn the trust of this Latias as well. Now, speaking of Ash catching Latias, I was initially disappointed because this did not happen, since I was hoping that he would finally get the chance to catch a legendary Pokemon. However, since at the end of the episode it is revealed that Latias is now following Ash, we will for sure see Latias again, and it's very likely that Ash will catch her by the end of this series. Why do I think that this will happen? Well, I will make an in-depth video on the matter, so please stay tuned for that. For now, let's just say that recurring Pokemon, especially those that follow Ash for several episodes, tended to be caught by him more often than not. It goes without saying that Ash catching Latias would be supremely amazing. Next, I want to talk about the new opening theme and the new ending theme. And by new, I mean new versions, since the opening theme and the ending theme for this series are the first ever opening theme and ending theme for the Pokemon anime. I think that it's fitting that the 2 songs that were there when Ash started his journey and when the anime began get to also be there when Ash's journey ends, at least as a protagonist, and when the anime that we know with Ash as the star ends. Also, it's great that visually, the opening theme is now a montage of key moments from Ash's journey, which is very nostalgic, while the ending theme is visually the same as it was before, just with a filter over it that makes it seem old, which it of course is. Finally, I just want to talk about something that I did not include in the summary, since it was not important. About 7 minutes in, the episode cuts to Ash's house. Professor Oak visits Ash's mother in order to inquire if she has heard from Ash. Here, Mimey looks at Professor Oak with a face of utter annoyance and frustration. Mimey then sweeps dust over and onto Professor Oak as he recites a poem. This behavior seems to indicate that Mimey hates Professor Oak, or at least it cannot stand him for some reason. I did not know that this was a thing, Or at least, I don't recall it being a thing. If it really is true, I wonder why. So yeah, this is really random, and it really has no bearing on the episode. But I found it funny, so I wanted to comment on it. But those are my thoughts on and analysis of the episode. Now it's time to bring this review to a close by going over my overall opinion of the episode. Overall, I think that this episode was decent. While it definitely had some good moments and surprises in it, the first third of it was ultimately pointless and boring, for a lack of a better word, since all we saw was Ash and Pikachu adventuring, meeting Pokemon, and having fun. All of this was enjoyable to watch for sure, but not anything exciting or engaging. What ultimately saved this episode was the return of Sceptile, Donphan, Noivern, and Buizel, since this was so amazing and very surprising, and everything that happened with Latias, since not only was it endearing and cool, but the implications and effects this will likely have on future episodes is quite exciting. So yeah, overall, this episode was good. It's just that the first third of it was honestly unnecessary, since it did not really contribute anything to the episode. However, since the rest of the episode was pretty good, the episode as a whole was still pretty decent. But that's the review and the video. So, as always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.